Hey everyone, Joe here. In last week's retouching tutorial, I showed you how to take photos that we created for time-lapse, put them in a time-lapse assembler, and create a time-lapse movie. In this week's retouching tutorial, we're going to be using Lightroom CC to batch edit photos so they can then be used in time-lapse assembler. So if you haven't batch edited photos before in a Lightroom, you want to pay attention to this video. So let's get over here to the computer and let's get started. Okay everyone, here's one of the photos that I've already finished, and we'll be editing the rest of these. But instead of going through and editing each one of them, I'm going to show how we can edit this one and then sync all the settings and touch-ups and everything to the rest of the photos, and also make batch editing much faster. So let's go ahead and open this one up. And this is one I was trying to get a good sunset the other day, but it was stormy, so clouds aided up quite a bit, but it's no big deal. And see, it looks kind of flat looking. That is because it is a raw file. The information is there, but it's unedited. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to edit it. Okay, go here, lens correction. Let's turn on remove chromatic aberrations. It shouldn't be none in this one. Now, I would like to be able to turn on profile corrections, but I use my Rokinon, which is also Samyang 14mm lens, and it is not listed in here. So I would have to edit this manually, but since you really can't tell much any distortion on this particular photo, editing lens corrections is another tutorial in its own, so we're not going to worry with that one. Okay, let's go up here to the top. Let's go ahead and get our cropping done. Let's pull this in just a little bit. Bottom here. So we got a lot I can crop in here. Pull back some. Now the reason I'm cropping in here is because there's a lot of stuff in the photo that are not really, there's just wasted space. You know, sand here on the side does nothing. So I'm just kind of pulling out the interesting part and kind of putting that sun towards the center. Now most time they say, you know, center is wrong because it's dead center. Well, sometimes rules have to be broken just a little bit. Let's don't forget to use our level tool here and put this at the horizon and kind of level that up pretty flat. That looks good enough, at least here at the moment. And that's close enough for me. Now you can see we've got plenty here left. Since we're going to be exporting this down to eventually down to 1080p, that's good enough. You don't have to worry about anything. Got plenty of detail here we can spare. Okay, let's first start with our exposure and contrast and stuff. And let's bring our highlights down. Try to pull back some of that data we lost up there. Let's pull our shadows up and bring out some more of that detail we've lost. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up just a little bit. As you can see up the histogram here at the top, the reason I'm pulling this up is because I don't want to overexpose the white where the sun is here in the center, but you don't want to leave it too low because then it looks very dull and fake looking. Okay, get that one done. Now the blacks, you can see where the histogram is right here. We've already got just a little bit of blacks, probably in this areas in here, that are already in the breakout zone, a little too dark. But it's good to have a little bit of dark blacks, but it's not on the whites. So let's go ahead and let's pull our clarity up here just a little bit. See where it starts looking good, starts making the clouds look interesting here. That'll work. Now I want some vibrance and stuff and color brought back into this. This looks pretty gray to me. About 60 will work. And let's pull in some saturation too. Now you can see I'm starting to pull back some color and stuff in those background that was lost. This is why we shoot raw, because all the information's here. If you can get the right editing tool like Lightroom CC right here to pull that out. Okay. No, not going to use tone curve on here at all. Not going to use HSL, split toning. But I think I'm going to bump the contrast up just a little bit here, maybe about 11 or 10. Yeah, that looks, it's looking pretty good. It's getting started anyway. Sharpening I am going to pull out because we don't need it on this. We still have plenty of detail. And I am going to bring my noise reduction up, only because some of the photos at the end are, even though this is ISO 100, the end photos are kind of dark. So I want to make sure I don't have any noise in them. Since the sun is setting, it does in fact get dark. Okay, let's pull out our effects here. Ooh, let's see, what did I have this one at? Yeah, I think I pulled down quite a bit. Somewhere about there. Midpoint into about here. Now let's leave roundness alone. That ain't the one I want to mess with. Do want to feather this out pretty good though. That'll work. And our new tool, Haze. This is the first time I'm using a tutorial with it. As you can see, that dehazes quite a bit, but it also darkens in quite a bit. So now things are starting to look a little more interesting. Okay. Now let's go back up here at the top. This is looking pretty decent. Kind of like it. Good for time lapse, but I want to add a little, personal effects, personal touch here. Just a nice big radial filter here. Let's put it out here in the water. Okay. Let's remove a lot of this right here. Let's see. A little dodge is what we want. I'm gonna bring the dodge up just a little bit. About 0.5, yeah. Let's add a little color. I think somewhere along the lines about 51, about say 50%. And that adds in yellow out there. Now it appears like the sunlight is now reflecting more off the ocean. That's what we're going for here. Now, of course, leave our feather about 50 and make sure invert mask is checked. If not, if you do this, it goes everywhere else but where you want it. Invert mask keeps it in the radial part of there. Okay, that looks good. Let me see if there's anything else I missed here. That looks really good to me. I hope that looks really good to y'all. Okay, we're done with that. Oh yeah, let me see. Somewhere down the line, we got meant to crop this down to 16 by 9. There we go. It's important we get it 16 by 9 because that's the video ratio we'll be using, which is normal for widescreen. Yeah, there we go. There, looks good. Now let's click on this photo. I got my cursor over. Now scroll all the way out to the bottom, and we'll hit Shift and click on that last photo. Now it doesn't matter if it's PC or Mac, Shift's the one you use, and you just want to do a quick single click on the last photo. Then go over here to Sync Settings. Now we want Check All. If you're not sure everything's checked, just go ahead and click the Check All button and hit Synchronize. Now it takes a second for all the photos to get synced up here. Okay. Now what we want to do is go over here to Export. And we'll see this here is tutorial. And let's type in tutorial. Okay, I want to see our example here. I have the custom name plus sequence. So example, it shows tutorial, then attack 1.jpg, which is what we want. Now I am going to leave my quality of my JPEGs at 100 because we'll be deleting them later. The color space, just go ahead and leave it as Pro Photo RGB. Don't resize to fit. You can go ahead and click on 1920, and that'll automatically shrink them all down for us, so it doesn't take up much space. And let's go ahead and click Export. Okay. It'll take this just a moment. Now I've only got 130 files here because I want to make this quick. I didn't want to, take forever on it. But this will give us, a 3 or 4 second clip. and I'll show the clip at the end for everybody. But this is it. This is simply how I created those. You'll have a folder on your desktop, and we'll cut to that part as soon as it gets done exporting. Okay, welcome back everyone. Well, our folder's already been exported over here. All our files are in it. And so you get our first image, and we go all the way down to number 130. And I've already went over here, took the liberty of putting them into a time lapse. Let's go ahead and open this one with QuickTime Player. Here we go, and I'll play this for everyone. And there we go, folks. Not much to it. Okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you found it helpful. Remember, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take time to subscribe. Remember, subscribing is for you. It's free and lets you know when I release more videos. So until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.